optimistic about the way it will pan out in few hours' time. Thank you.
General Kochhar, well, there's going to be a talk of sale and purchase, or rather, mostly sale of defense equipment as well, and that's a huge area that the Americans can profit from. Do you think that something as trivial as tariffs would get into the way of that?
If you breathe at times, being the last speaker has its own advantages. So I can actually cover what has not been covered. So uh, you are absolutely right. The purchase
So there
list.
was a pun in my question to you. Obviously, I was being sarcastic. Donald
Okay.
Trump, is a businessman. He's an astute
Yes.
businessman. He's not going
Yes.
to,
Yes.
what's that saying? Pound foolish and penny wise.
It's like this, Vineet. When your national interests converge, then you will find that there is a more bonding with each other. So once we talk about Indo-US relations, and right from 2016, uh, there has been an upswing because we are the major defense partner of the United States, and we have been elevated to a strategic trade authorization tier one status. So we have to take this thing into this context, because in case we have to talk about defense, defense your agreements don't happen overnight. There is a lot of homework done already. Uh, Rajnath Singh and his counterpart in the US have already met, and a broad agreement on what India is willing to buy from the United States has already been arrived at. So the important areas are where these trials are already happening in India: the Striker combat vehicle, the Javelin missiles, anti-tank missiles. These trials are already taking place in India. And what my information is that these trials have been positive, accepted by the Indian Army. So what we expect now is these deals, apart from the NQ-9B drones and their MRO facilities, which is going to be established in India, uh, US would also be getting these orders, and that is going to nullify to a large extent the tariff issue, because I think tariff is actually gaining prominence because Trump is using that as a weapon, but I don't think he is going to use it against India to that extent, because the Indians have already done their homework. They have a list of more than 30 items which are going to be given to Trump, stating that we are reducing the tariff on these 30 plus items. So the starting point, if you start on a positive note, on negotiation, you will find the agreements also actually happening. So what we are looking for right now is that energy trade in terms of medium and small moderate nuclear reactors for our power plants, because the US has already taken out three of our organizations from the banned list. So it is now going to fructify in an agreement on the energy sector. We talked about crude oil, that is on the anvil. We talked about the tariff also, it is on the anvil, and the defense. And most important, I would like to talk about is our fighter aircraft, the fifth or the sixth generation F-35 aircraft, because United States is keen that India buys this aircraft. That is why in the Aero Show, this aircraft was demonstrated along with the Su-57. And what reports I am getting after the Aero Show is that it's a very, very versatile aircraft. Air Force is absolutely will not have any objection in actually buying it. And when we have listened to the Air Chief on our desperate need to make up the deficiencies of our 12 squadrons, I think, this is my personal assessment, I think at least two squadrons for F-35 should be on the anvil. We can still go to Su-57 and also get two squadrons from Russia. So that will actually give us a balance. And this balance is required because if we have to make up this deficiency, we can't wait for 40 years. And considering the way the adversaries are arming themselves with technology, I think this would be there. And my last point is on transfer of technology because this is one gray area with the United States. In spite of the ISET, I think the ISET will have to be reviewed because the ISET has not been followed in letter and spirit by the United States so far. The jet engines G404 and 414, we are still to get the consignments into India, and our Tejas project has been delayed. So I think this would be one area which will be stressed by Prime Minister Modi here. We have to push this thing through, especially the transfer of technology, because France is ready to give, Russia is ready to give. So why not the United States?
Right,
So I think
you're absolutely right, sir.